I'm actually glad that my father brought up the issue going on with this Brian Laundries and his girlfriend Gabby to me. I do look at, um, I'll Google search or look at the FBI's website or the U.S. Marshals website, and I look at the missing persons a lot. I've always done that. It's not like it's something new. I've always done that. And when I was growing up, there were missing children on the sides of a milk carton. And so, I'd wait until the milk carton was empty and then I'd smush it and then I'd, keep the missing person part of it because I was always, in my mind as a kid, I was like, how can somebody go missing? Like, isn't somebody looking for these people? How do they go missing? So that's always been like a big thing with me, missing people. And why can't they find them? Like, that's a big thing. And I think for the most part, these milk cartons, when I was growing up, that ended up in a lot of people's homes that had children, actually were a deterrent as well as a warning. Um, it certainly raised a level of fear with children that they could, at any point in time come up missing, even in a small town. And so it was really important to pay close attention to the directions that your parents or the adult figures, where they were directing you to keep you safe. And, if they told you, come right home after school, you came home right after school. You didn't go mess around. So for the most part, I think it did what it was supposed to do. And I understand there was some, large reasoning why they removed the missing children from the sides of the milk cartons. But I do remember I used to go to the post office and they would have pages, printed pages on the posted, like a section that had postings, and they would have pages of missing people and people wanted for various crimes. And so you could just go to the post office and I used to go there and spend a lot of time looking at that stuff. So becoming aware of your surroundings is a very, very important thing. But above and beyond that is to be cognizant of the road to the point in which you must realize that life comes with it a lot of dangers. And to spend the majority of your time living in some sort of fantasy world about who you are as a person and who the people are that you're surrounding yourself with and what you're doing with your life, without realizing that real life comes with many, many dangers. And I think fantasy should be reserved for vacations to relieve stress of everyday life, but it should not be something that people carry on with on a daily basis. It's like a breakaway thing. And I think part of social media and heightening people on the levels of Hollywood have gone way too far. But going back to this Brian Laundries and his girlfriend, unlike other people, I really don't want to use her and him as some type of stepping stone to gain attention from people. That's not my intent. I think it's wrong. It's ignorant as fuck, man. It really pisses me off that this has blown out of proportion, now worldwide attention. And if I was the federal investigator on the case, I'd be arresting a whole shitload of people for the intentional disruption of an ongoing investigation. But obviously they have no balls, because I would do that. But I will say this, because it's really, really important. Reflecting on those milk cartons and the warnings and the solid messages that were sent into people's homes back in my day. If I could say one thing from my observation on some of the videos that I did watch, Gabby, and this girl Gabby, I don't know her. I know nothing about her other than what's being publicized. But it appeared to me at the point in which they were stopped by the police that she was in distress. And it did not appear to me that she was in distress over him. It came across when I first saw her on these videos, and I've watched it a couple other times just to do a double check with where my original thought went. Females in general have this thing called intuition. And the closer that you stay to home base, if you will, the more your intuition stays intact. And when you're outside your comfort levels, also known as home or your community, where you feel more safe in your surroundings by people you know, like family and friends, your intuition, I believe, it gets stronger. So, in my experience, intuition is something like being woken in the middle of the night from a vivid dream, almost like you yourself has walked into the future to see if there's any dangers lurking out there that's going to affect you or people that you care about. And then that shedding, if you will, of yourself, returning with knowledge. It doesn't have to be in the middle of the night. It can be at any point during the day where you doze off and you're having a cat nap, and your intuition moves forward, okay? It appears to me that her intuition is flagging her, and she knows it. Caution flag, caution flag, caution flag. And she clearly says, oh, no, he's a good guy, knowing she knows that she's safe with him. And her biggest fear at that moment is that what she already saw through her intuitive channels is taking place. And she doesn't want to be separated by him. That is her fear. And then they are separated. He's in a hotel, from what I understand. She's alone. And at that point in that juncture, something happens to her, and I would not put it past, I would not disregard police involvement. Safety is listening to yourself. You're not crazy, but making your partner understand that intuitive flags are real. Be cognizant of the road at all times.